Hey Gooners, welcome back again. Arsenal are back on the training pitches at London Colney with focus fully locked in as preparations intensify for another huge Premier League afternoon at the Emirates Stadium. After an emotionally charged week that delivered both silverware progress and a commanding league position, Mikel Arteta has wasted no time resetting the squad, knowing that maintaining momentum is now just as important as building it. The mood around the training ground has been described as calm but driven. There is satisfaction after knocking Chelsea out of the Carabao Cup and booking a place at Wembley, but there is no sense of celebration lingering. Arteta has been clear with his players. The job is not finished. In fact, it is only just entering its most demanding phase. Players returned to London Colney with light recovery work immediately after the Chelsea win, before the intensity ramped up across the week. Ball work, pressing drills and sharp transitional exercises dominated sessions, with Arteta placing particular emphasis on speed of circulation and decision-making in the final third. The message has been consistent. Do not allow the emotions of cup success to distract from league focus. Injury news remains a major talking point, and Arsenal continue to manage a delicate balance between protecting key players and maintaining rhythm. Bukayo Saka was again absent from full-team training as he continues his recovery from a hip issue sustained in the warm-up against Leeds United. The club remains optimistic that the injury is not serious, but there is no desire to rush him back, with bigger fixtures still to come later this month. Saka has been working indoors alongside medical staff, focusing on mobility and strength, and Arteta has privately stressed that his availability for the long run matters more than one game. Martin Odegaard has been the more positive sight at London Colney. The captain trained individually early in the week after picking up a minor knock, but he has since rejoined parts of full team sessions. Arsenal will make a late decision on his involvement, but there is growing confidence inside the camp that he could at least feature in some capacity against Sunderland. His presence, even from the bench, would be a huge boost. Mikel Merino, however, remains sidelined and will not feature. The midfielder is preparing for surgery on a foot injury involving a broken bone, and the club has already accepted that his absence will stretch deep into the remaining months of the season. Arteta has spoken internally about how much Merino's versatility will be missed, especially in a campaign where Arsenal are competing across multiple fronts. Youngster Max Dowman also continues his recovery from an ankle injury and has been following a carefully managed rehabilitation programme. The club is being especially cautious given his age, growth stage and long-term development, with no intention of accelerating his return. Elsewhere, the news has been far more encouraging. Defensive stability has returned just in time for the decisive stretch of the season. William Saliba and Ricardo Calafiori have both trained fully and look sharp, while Jurrien Timber continues to impress staff with his physical condition and tactical understanding. The sense is that Arsenal's defensive unit is once again close to full strength, and that has lifted confidence across the squad. Midfield sessions have been intense. Declan Rice has been central to everything, setting the tempo, driving standards, and acting as an on-pitch extension of Arteta himself. Martin Zubimendi's response to recent criticism has been noted internally, with coaches praising his attitude and sharpness in training following his strong display at Leeds. In attack, competition is fierce. Kai Havertz has trained with visible confidence following his decisive goal against Chelsea, while Gabriel Jesus and Victor Gyökeres continue to push each other relentlessly. Arteta has encouraged rotation without disruption, and the variety of attacking profiles at his disposal is something Arsenal lacked in previous title challenges. The wider context makes this Sunderland fixture especially important. Arsenal currently sits 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League, having taken full advantage of slips from Manchester City and Aston Villa. But Arteta has repeatedly reminded his players that leads mean nothing if standards drop. Home form has been the backbone of Arsenal's title push, and the Emirates has become a fortress built on control, patience and ruthless moments rather than chaos. Sunderland arrive as underdogs, but not without belief. Their season has exceeded expectations, and despite recent struggles, they remain one of the league's most energetic sides. Arsenal's coaching staff have spent significant time analysing their transitions and physical output, aware that complacency could invite unnecessary pressure. In other news, Jurrien Timber insists Arsenal are gunning for Carabao Cup glory because victory at Wembley Stadium would set the tone for more silverware this season. Kai Havertz's dramatic last-gasp winner to down former club Chelsea put the tie beyond all reasonable doubt and clinched the Gunners' place in their first League Cup final since 2018. For all the good work Mikel Arteta has carried out at the Emirates Stadium, he has still only won one trophy, FA Cup 2020, during his 6-year reign. Timber believes Arsenal are now ready to change their destiny, stating, "I think every competition, every cup is different, but at the same time, we're in an amazing position. We don't have anything yet, but we've put ourselves in an amazing position to win. The Carabao Cup final is coming early, so maybe that would be nice for us as a motivation and a boost towards the other cups as well." Arsenal's recent home performances have been the subject of scrutiny. However, Timber was ecstatic that his side were able to grind out victory, even though they were not anywhere near their best. Prior to Tuesday evening, Arsenal had lost their past 4 semi-finals, but the curse was finally shattered and their quadruple dream now lives on. Timber is not willing to take the feat for granted, explaining, "It means a lot, but I think it does to the whole club, to the whole team. I think we appreciate these moments, me, myself as well, but obviously you want to win the final, so that is the next step. We appreciate going to the final, we don't take it for granted, we have an amazing squad and these kinds of opportunities are not easy to have. And I think this squad does an amazing job and I am just proud to be part of this team." The German, who only returned last month after suffering a knee problem on the opening day of the season which required surgery, is now showcasing just how much he's been missed. The right-back said of his teammate, "Just his presence within the team makes a big difference, but also on the pitch. I think everyone can see his amazing qualities and also everyone can see how happy everyone was for Kai." In other news, EFL sources have firmly stated that Marc Guehi will not be permitted to participate in the Carabao Cup final, even if they receive a formal request for a rule change from Manchester City. Following last night's 3-1, 5-1 aggregate semi-final second-leg triumph over Newcastle at the Etihad Stadium, Pep Guardiola indicated that City were planning to write to the EFL to discuss Guehi's ineligibility. Speaking to Sky Sports, he said, "Hopefully we can convince the Carabao Cup that Marc can play in this competition in the final. It's difficult to understand that the club makes a big investment to take one player, he belongs to us, and I don't understand why he cannot play in the final. Honestly, hopefully we make a letter and hopefully the Carabao Cup can understand. Once you buy a player for a lot of money and he's not able to play because of a rule that I don't understand why, hopefully they can change it and he can play." Ahead of the 2025/26 season, the EFL actually revised their rules to allow players who have already participated in early rounds of the competition to play for their new clubs, following a January transfer, as long as they signed before the first leg of the semi-final. For instance, in past seasons, Antoine Semenyo would have been ineligible to play due to the cup-tied rule, but this time he was able to take to the pitch for City against Newcastle, even scoring in the 2-0 first-leg triumph at St James's Park. Eddie Howe voiced his disapproval of the rule change prior to the match, stating, "It was nice to find out that rule had changed after finding out they had signed him," he said, during his pre-match press conference. "I have to say that's one rule change I probably wouldn't be supportive of at this current moment." While City have already reaped the benefits of the rule change, Guardiola still believes that Guehi should also be allowed to play against Arsenal at Wembley next month. The first leg of the semi-final against Newcastle took place on January 13th, but the England international didn't finalise his move to the Etihad Stadium from Crystal Palace until January 19th. When approached by Football.London, the EFL made it clear that they will stand their ground even if City make a request, meaning Guehi will have to watch his teammates vie for the season's first trophy from the stands in London. The central defender is also unlikely to receive a medal if City clinch the competition, as he will not have played for his new club during the tournament. The winners of the Carabao Cup are assured a playoff spot for next season's UEFA Conference League, although Arsenal and City are still on course to qualify for the Champions League. In addition, they will also pocket £100,000 in tournament prize money. Stay tuned for more updates. There is also history at stake. Arsenal are unbeaten in 43 Premier League home games against newly promoted sides, a record that reflects consistency but also expectation. The players know the crowd will demand authority from the first whistle. As the week has progressed, training intensity has sharpened, but so has clarity. Arteta's instructions have been simple. Start fast, control space, be patient when needed, be ruthless when the moment arrives. This is not just about defending a lead at the top of the table, this is about showing that Arsenal are ready to carry the weight of being hunted. As the squad prepares to arrive at the Emirates once more, everything points toward another defining afternoon in a season that refuses to slow down.